As per tradition, Rick, we have just literally got out of cinemas 15 minutes ago. And, you know, sometimes we always go, oh yeah, we've seen the movie opening weekend. But I feel like we're some of the last people to have seen this movie. This thing has exploded early on, like in the fact that the amount of people that are going. Now, Rick, we walked out of a 10 a.m. Sunday session, which we have been doing for 25 years.
We have, yep.
And the fact of the matter is, Rick, it was pretty full today, and it's never full.
It wasn't one of the big cinemas. It was one of the smaller. It wasn't
the giant one we normally go to, but it was, and that wasn't because it was full. It was because they decided Jurassic World Rebirth is apparently would be more important than Superman at our local cinema. Nevertheless, the point is, it's like this has been very popular very early on. It was actually, I got to say, a real pain in the ass to avoid spoilers for this film.
It was everywhere.
Like,
everywhere.
Forget about getting on Instagram. Forget about getting on
social
Facebook.
Media platform had it.
They were spoiling the shit out of this film. So in saying that, we finally got to go and see it. I will say that, yeah, it's a pretty rad film, eh? I think a lot of the hype is well earned. Yeah. Not to be that guy though, but I don't think it's perfect.
No.
But I think it's pretty. It's not the Superman movie I was expecting, and I'm thankful for that. Yep. It's very different. It's very different. Yep. What were your initial thoughts, Ricky?
My initial thoughts, I really enjoyed this movie. I loved it. And it actually brought me back to when I was a kid watching the original Superman with Christopher Reeve. Yeah. That kind of feel really, set me back. But it was good to see that sort of tone and then the modern tone coming in together. So, yeah, it's not a perfect movie, don't get me wrong, but it is an enjoyable movie and not what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be something different. But
we're leading into spoiler territory as we always do because we're not going to hold back. No. And clearly, what are you doing watching a review if you haven't seen the movie yet? Go see the movie. All right, in saying that, the way they established the universe, because this is the thing, right? This may not have been the first entry into James Gunn's DC universe, but this is the big one. This is the big
one. This is what I needed to do it.
So the way they established this is brilliant.
Straight off
the bat. With basically text, which is not normally a unless you're Star Wars, I don't want information dump in the beginning.
Yeah, and it's not a lot. It's just
but the information dump is perfect.
The way he does it,
because it basically establishes that hey, metahumans, superheroes, have been around for 300 years. Superman's been around for 30, and it does this really cool timeline of things leading up to Superman.
Yeah, like so it's not an origin story.
No,
you know? It's great.
Avoid that shit.
Which is perfect. The way they've done it, which is great, and this has established it straight away off the bat.
There are three characters that never need origin stories ever again, and that's Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. No more. That's it.
Even with a younger generation coming through, and you didn't know much about Superman, this sets it up straight away for everyone. Like it's just.
Let's go through before we get into the actual plot of the film, which I've got a lot to say. I think it's worth us just going through some of this cast. All right, let's shout out to David Corenswet, who is
perfect.
I would say the perfect Superman for now, for today, for that universe, absolutely. And I don't want to take away anything from any previous Superman. So because Henry Cavill was still to me a fantastic Superman. Not that we get to see a lot of Superman. Here it is all Superman, right? In the sense of what I mean is Superman being Superman, doing good.
Yeah.
Being a good guy.
And that's what represents Superman.
And you know, we had just come off that phase where we'd seen movie after movie where Superman doesn't know where he fits and, you know, he's dead and now he's back, but he doesn't know who he is.
Now he knows, yeah.
But here we don't get any of that. And David Corenswet infuses this charisma to Superman that I don't think we've ever had on screen before.
Yeah.
Like he uses the word dude.
Yeah.
Multiple times in this film. And he's kind of like a guy. His personality reminded me of my son. He's got the personality of Josh, my son, which is a great compliment to him and Superman, of course. But he's just that normal 30-year-old guy. And I freaking
reliable.
Love that. And he does it so well. And he goes through, Superman goes through a bit of an arc in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, and it's great because here we go. A lot of the stuff online I have been reading, I've got a rant on this, is about the film being very political.
It is.
It is political.
It is.
But I tell you what, it's not on one side. This thing, it's woke. That is a ridiculous word that needs to be kind of eviscerated off the planet, as far as I'm concerned. But it's not like there was a sense that I got told, it's a very left-leaning movie, like it's very democratic. I don't see that at all. I think James Gunn has made a political movie where he's taken swipes at both sides of the US political system. And that's what he's done. Because when you think about movies, I don't know what people realise, a lot of movies that get made, the inspiration and their need to come up with these stories is usually a reflection of what they're living through in the real world. Now, if you live in America, everything's political. So he's made a political film.
And he made that comment, though, as well.
And he made that statement about, like...
immigrant.
Yeah, about an immigrant. And he's an immigrant.
He is. He's an immigrant. Coming from, And he,
So, like, Darren Cronsworth handled that so well because, and as for the politics, I think he's just... James Gunn is just trying to send a message that this is the world we kind of live in at the moment. So... But to see that this is a left-leaning movie or the right...
But he makes...
Like, I've seen clips of Fox News going, they make just... It's a freaking Superman,
it's
guys.
It's a movie.
It's a goddamn movie. And David Cronsworth, well done. The next big shout-out, who I love, I think she's the best Lois Lane we've had since Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie, she's Barbie, I mean Margot Kidder.
Okay, the original.
The original, not Margot Robbie, who's a great Aussie actress, of course. She's amazing. I love this iteration of Lois Lane. Not only does she have Rachel Brosnahan, I think her name is. Even though I'm not very good at pronouncing names, she was known as being the star of The Marvellous Miss Maisel, which is a great show that was out there for a while. She's wonderful as Lois.
Yeah.
I think she really holds her own.
Do you feel that connection? They really did have a connection between the two.
Have a connection.
They were good.
And I think that opening scene with her and Clark battling, doing that interview with Superman, saying, you chose that. She was such a great choice. And what I also love about this Lois Lane in this movie is she's actually critical to the story. She's not playing the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Like, very accurately to the comic books, this is a go-get-'em, almost cynical, questioning everything Lois Lane, and I love that. So, mate, the fact that your Superman and your Lois Lane are just... Casting's 95% of the movie, right?
100%.
You get the good cast, and then all of a sudden it's... this film's easy to do. The next one, this is funny, on IMDb, they've actually put the orders in order of appearance. Which is a great opening scene. A great opening is when they get into the Fortress of Solitude. If you're a Guardian of the Galaxy fan, you're going to notice some great little cameos early on. I won't spoil who they are, but you will pick up on them. Now, the third thing that has to be taught, and I'm a bit back and forward about this one, Rick. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor.
Yeah, look, there has been a lot of people have said his performance, they didn't feel like he was really Lex. Like they just...
Well, I felt he's
Lex.
Great, but I felt like I was watching Nicholas Hoult try really hard to be Lex Luthor, rather than seeing Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's miscasting or not.
But he had some good scenes. Like he had some good points.
But Nicholas Hoult is no B-grade actor. He is A-class, and he is amazing in some of those scenes. But maybe that's just me being in the moment, overthinking it. Who else have we got? Really, the stars of these films has got to be Nathan Fillion. To me, every moment he is in this movie, he is stealing it from everybody else in the scene.
Every scene that he pops in, every time he pops in, he just nails it, and he plays that character so well. Yeah. And you just, it's great. It's great writing.
The introduction of Mr. Terrific, a character who I knew zero about, but absolutely love this guy now. To the kid they cast as Jimmy Olsen was really great.
And he reminded me of the old Jimmy Olsen as well, from the original, and that was so good.
Even the guy they got to play Perry White's fantastic. He's a
Hawk Girl. Yeah.
Hawk Girl's great. You know what I liked a little bit is they had was the audio for her. She would scream like a hawk when she attacked. I thought it was really great. It was really great. So really, it's hard when you go down, and even when you get to Metamorphos. So who was Metamorpho? Who played him? Is the guy from Barry?
The guy we
Anthony Carrigan. Metamorpho, absolutely.
Really
that guy
good
should
character.
be in lots of movies. He's a really fine
He's done
actor.
a bit of DC work as well.
Yeah.
He was in Gotham and
Yeah.
So he's good. And you know what was really, when we were talking about this in the car as well, because we're having a chat in the car. His parents. His actual parents.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, what I said in the car on the way home.
Perfect.
So it's so nice to have normal people playing Ma Park. I think that's the best Ma Park I've seen, because
Were they?
it wasn't Diane Lane,
No.
and it wasn't Kevin Costner. It wasn't these Hollywood legends. It was a couple of middle-aged, chubby, farming,
Relatable. That's
very relatable, and I thought that was perfect to do that.
Yeah.
But really, the star of this movie, and I'm sure James Gunn at one point thought, could I get away with just calling it Krypto? Because Krypto is unbelievably good at this.
He's so good at this.
I mean, talk about a genius thing. And, I'm not going to repeat. You can see all the clips online on why his version of Krypto is like what it is, but it's such a genius move. Because it's like that normal mutt. He really doesn't have any discipline. He gets away with anything. Imagine if he had superpowers. And that's where we get.
And you'll find that at the end, which we'll discuss.
Yeah, and at the end with the little... there's a couple of twists in this. There's a couple of big spoilers. So, I don't know if we'll go into them, because I don't think that really needs to go into either of what I think are two kind of spoilers.
Yeah.
We'll dance around the subject now, though. But I also think a strength of this film was more so Lex Luthor's hench people.
Okay.
Right? So the engineer, really like her, like nanotech.
Yeah.
And how that gets used,
Yep.
even as a weapon against Superman, was brilliant.
Which
Which is really great. Ultraman, very
Ultraman was good.
magnanimous. Kind of reminds you of that character from The Boys.
Yeah.
What was that character from The Boys? Looks just like Ultraman.
Oh, yeah, he's got... yeah.
He looked like that.
Exactly like him.
I mean, there's a lot to love. There's a lot to love about this film. So the cast is fantastic. I think I was shocked at how diverse the script was. In the fact that we go to so many different locations and so many scenes are happening. It never feels at any point that I'm waiting for the next scene. Everything feels like it falls on each other in a normal way.
And going on about it, because to me, I just felt like the movie kind of dragged a bit. And I think because there was so much going on in certain bits, I just felt like it did drag. But because of all that was happening, that's how I felt it was going.
Few things have changed, I think, especially cinematically, into a couple of minor things, actually, and a couple of big things changed in the way of Superman lore in this film. I would think. Cinematically, we'd never seen the robots before, even though we know they exist in the comic books. I think that was wonderful. To make Superman not godlike, make him actually, he's beatable. And actually, the movie starts with him getting his ass kicked. I really like that. I think that's super smart to do that with him. They changed the location of the Fortress of Solitude. So as a fellow Southern Hemisphere guy, you should be pretty happy he actually lives down below us, rather than I always thought it was at the North Pole.
So it's in Antarctica.
Yeah, Antarctica. Remember they go in Antarctica? I like that a little bit. That was a nice little touch. But
we didn't see much of it. I did like the way it looked. And that, it changed up a bit there. What was that? Who was that? His partner. She was great. What was her name?
Miss Tessmacher?
Tessmacher.
Yeah, he was basically named as the same character from Superman the movie. But what he does here is very clever with her, because she's the same type of character in a modern essence. She's very airhead. Well, we think she's very airhead. And obviously, she's taking a lot of selfies. But but what we find out, and this is a spoiler, but it's kind of a spoiler, so yeah, there you go. But the fact that she was being perceived as taking selfies, but what she was doing was capturing what was going on in the background.
She was smart.
To provide evidence for her own protection later on, which is really great, really smart of her. We had an SNL alum in there who was played, Mr. Bennett, what's his name? Oh, he played the sports writer.
Oh,
Beck Bennett from SNL. Great.
It was
tiny role, but perfect.
But he did it well.
Did it really well.
Yeah.
Really well.
That was enjoyed.
Excuse me. Yeah, there's a lot of shortcutting going on in this film, which I really, really appreciate in the fact of not having to educate the audience as much. So we've eliminated the origin story. We've established that there are multiple superheroes, so we don't have to go on the recruiting thing. We don't have to discover everybody the first time. It's just these guys exist, and that's the way it is.
And we're talking about the way they do it as well. They explain things, which was really, really good. Why he wears his glasses, how people... That was done really well.
You know, that's always been something that everyone has always called out Superman on, was the fact how
he's just wearing glasses.
How can be the best... reporters or whatever.
And they don't know who he is, just because he's wearing glasses.
No, but he's wearing glasses,
which was so good, how they explained that.
Which Nathan Fillion explains out of frustration and going like, he's dodgy to try to make himself seem better, which is hilarious. Basically, hypno glasses. He puts on the glasses of Clark Kent and it makes the person seeing Clark Kent or Superman...
completely different.
Completely different face. So it's very... That's a great way to explain it.
It's great.
It's a great way to explain it. So, yeah.
But
yeah, it's a very bright film. I'd say a lot of colour, very bright.
That's very James Gunn, isn't it?
Very James Gunn. Very much so. Look, it's a great film. It's a good film. I also appreciate that it hasn't destroyed some of the other Superman films I like, because it's so very different, I think, to Man of Steel, that it allows that movie. I don't care what you say. I still stand by Man of Steel.
Great movie.
It's a great movie. That exists, and James Gunn didn't really do anything to shit on that in any way, which was great.
There was one scene, right, which there's a fight scene, and I don't know if this was a little something to do with Marvel. I don't know. The bit with the hammer, right?
It looked like Thor's hammer.
It was like Thor's hammer, and it was like. Was that a bit of a dig to the MCU?
Like that though, eh?
But or was that something that I don't know? That was the first thing that just popped in my head.
I think Kevin Feige was one of the first people to see Superman, actually.
But you're in Disney now, going, shit, man, we really stuffed up.
They screwed up.
We stuffed big time.
Yeah. But I'm thankful for it now, because I think James Gunn let his creativity fly is going to, really do. I have a concern. Like, my wife come out of it and she didn't love the film. She didn't love it. And I wonder, Rick, sometimes if on a mass appeal thing, will everyone love it? Because you are expected to have some sort of comic book knowledge.
Yeah, but they explain it.
You know what I mean? Like, I think you do. Like, for us... I'm not a big comic book reader at all, but I know those characters via osmosis,
But if you take that side out of it, as a movie as a whole,
does Grandma get anything out of it? It's going to be my question. Is Grandma and Grandpa someone who's not into the DC universe? Maybe hasn't seen the Superman film since Christopher Reeve's Superman film. Does that resonate with them? I hope it does. I think that's why the inclusion of Krypto was really important. Because Krypto, everybody loves animals.
Yeah.
So you've got Krypto in there, absolutely. You know what I mean? And anything with a dog, you emotionally are attached to immediately. There was a moment in that film when that dog gets covered in face and nanotag, and you hear the dog yelp. I guarantee you, Rick, there wasn't one person in that cinema that wasn't going, I hope the fucking dog's okay.
Yeah.
Because, you don't mess with, John Wick. And the whole franchise based on killing a dog.
And there's a reason why the dog, and we won't get into that reason.
It's a pretty great reason why that dog's in the film.
It's important. But you do see that throughout the movie, and especially when, obviously he gets captured and whatever. But it's like the glue. He's the glue that joins everyone together. And even with the robots as well, just that subtleness that they had with with those robots and how they go, we don't have emotions, but I don't care if
still
the dog
act like,
dies. But it's
followed up by a line. He goes, he looked at me.
It's just so good.
No, it's kind of it's funny. It's a film also, I think, that wow. I'm really curious to see how other characters are going to insert themselves into this universe. Like, I know he said, like, each movie and each thing has its own tone. Right? So everything could have its own tone. So the next movie could be very dark in nature. So I'm very curious to see how we get a Batman in there and Wonder Woman in there and the Flash. I mean, these are characters that we will be introduced to over a period. It'll be kind of very fascinating because James Gunn has made a very concerted choice to make all his heroes pretty flawed. And not just maybe flawed with weaknesses or whether they're good or evil. It's just they're more like they have human nature, personality. That not everyone's good, not everyone's... Like, you know what I mean? Like, they make good choices, they make crap choices. And
he summed that up as well. At that end scene at the end there with Superman, and then he's having that conversation with Lex, saying, he goes, but I am human. Superman says, I'm human. I wake up, I have days, I have troubles and all the rest of it. And I think that was just perfect the way he did it. It was emotional in certain bits as well. I loved it. It was so good.
Well, I think that's why I love this Superman so much as a character, because it feels like one of us would be trying to defend ourselves, going, look, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm trying to do the right thing here. You know, even in his defence early on with the interview with Lois Lane, like he's going, I stopped the war.
Yeah, but you...
and so his answers were great, but she was even better because she was calling him out.
Yeah, did you
what makes
ask
you
the
the arbiter of world peace?
You just did it on your own accord.
Did you bother to speak to
the
any leadership anywhere or anybody? No, you went and did it. And, you know, Superman bucks up against that. So it's great because it's like you agree with both of them, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a very flawed universe he's made. In fact, the universe he's made is way more flawed than the movie is itself. Because the movie itself, I don't like kind of doing ratings, but when it comes up there, it's in the right top tier. It's in that space. Like, I've been up there as a film. I've got to say that. You know, I'm not going to give it an official rating, but you know, when I think about some of the films in the DC, I mean, it's a Superman film. It's up there. It's close to being number one.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to make that call right now because in a few months I may have a different of it. But I loved it. I thought it was expansive. It was completely fresh, new Rick. It was not like a Superman. There was no fucking real estate deals. It was great.
The outfit, his uniform, his suit, the Superman suit.
Yeah, it's great.
A lot of people going on about the internet. They didn't like the suit. They didn't like the pants. They didn't like the whatever.
Well, they come out in an interview, and I don't think they did this well in the film. I wish they explained it a bit better. But as they explained in interviews, is in a way Superman wants to look a little bit silly.
Yeah.
Like in the Superman suit as it is, it didn't come with the shorts. He added the shorts because he wanted to seem friendly to children.
I think it's more.
Yeah, and it makes him more affable and, you know, to the normal person. Yeah, he can do amazing things, but, you know, if he was in a black suit all the time, he'd be a bit... Just bright and colourful. And it works for that character because, you know, you can't do a Superman film and fundamentally change that suit.
No.
Like, I know they attempted it in the late 90s with that Nicolas Cage film that never happened, but I don't think you can really fundamentally change that suit. That is the suit.
You look in the comics,
I like the new suit. I never found it distracting in the movie.
No.
At all.
No.
Yeah. No, there is a lot to love about it. I think it's a film that deserves a lot of rewatching.
You do.
And I certainly will rewatch it when I get the opportunity because I think there's lots
Is it one of those movies that you would go back to the cinemas and watch?
Potentially, yes. Yeah. Potentially. I would. I think it's one of those films that, you know, I think if I was younger, absolutely. I mean, if you're a 13-year-old kid this summer, I think this month you've got the best month of your summer holidays because you're going to have this. You've got Fantastic Four in a couple of weeks. You know, in between you go back. You know, I'm talking about the Yankee kids, of course.
Yeah.
Because it's their summer break. But yeah, no, I think it's a really good one. I also think that I love that they separated Superman, even though it's a political film, they've separated him from America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than Superman traditionally has been that all-American character. Even in the Henry Cavill one, I'm from Kansas. You know, I'm America.
They're really pushing it.
And you know, it's very Americana in its vibe. Don't get me wrong, but they're not beating us over the head with it. There's no truth, justice in the American way. And I think it was a smart move as well, which is clearly also explained in that really wonderful scene of the interview, where you know he's autonomous. Yeah, he comes from Kansas. But he's not aligned to a Democratic or a Republican party.
Yeah, he is on his own.
Which is kind of great because Superman went through those periods in the scene where he was more Republican and then he was more liberal. The fact that they've kind of gone away from that is brilliant. So I don't know what else to say except this is one of the films of the year, right?
It is. Like I've got some stats here, Jace.
Hit me with some stats.
Just on the critic scores and the audience scores.
Okay.
Which of Superman movies.
Okay.
All right. So we go back to the original Superman movie.
Yeah.
All right. Critic
Everybody
score
loves it.
with obviously Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
86% critic score, 86 audience score.
Yeah.
Spot on. Superman 2,
Yep.
we were talking about that in the car. 88% critic score, 76 audience score.
Hot take. Superman 2 is not a good movie. Put it out there. Not a good movie, guys. Fight me. Come at me, bro. Superman 2, the 1981 movie, was great for 1981, but sucks dick now. Sorry. Go on.
Man of Steel. Your Man of Steel, 57% was the critic score, 75% was the audience score. Batman v Superman, obviously Dawn of Justice, 28%.
Yes.
Critics, audience, 63.
Yeah.
Superman 4, one of the worst ones, 14% critic score, 16% audience score.
Not Christopher Reeve's fault, he was still great.
Justice League, Zack Snyder, 71% critic score, 92 with the audience, which was very surprising.
That's Zack Snyder's though. That's the Snyder cut, right?
That's
the Snyder cut.
So
that's a big difference from the Justice League, isn't it?
And then Superman, these are figures from the 8th of the 7th, so when the movie had come out. 86% for the critic score at the moment. And then we haven't got the updated ones for the audience.
No, that's probably a few days away.
So,
and on track. There's going to be some, I would suggest it'll be in the high 80s. There's always going to be
I think so. I think so. I did hear they made like 40 million in 2 days.
It's something ridiculous.
Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and we were talking about this
money.
On our chat. We were saying, is this going to hit $1 billion? And if it keeps going the way
the only thing that's hit $1 billion so far is I think a little blue alien, isn't it? No. What else? Sorry, no. I'm thinking Lilo and Stitch, which has done really well.
This year, yeah.
Yeah, I think Lilo and Stitch has been in. I could be wrong there. But anyway, look, I think it's great. If this is what the James Gunn universe is, he must feel very proud of what he's done.
Of course, yeah.
Because it was really important that this one thing was a home run.
We always said that.
If this sucked and Supergirl sucked,
they
had a big problem. And I predicted it'd be over. But I think they're right. I think Superman is good enough. And they do a setup for Supergirl, which was a take I wasn't expecting.
No, I was going like, really? When that
it's
came in,
a take that I'm not expecting. In fact, that little moment alone has got me so G'd up for what they're doing with Supergirl. That it's so great that
and they explained it, which was really, really good.
That I can't wait to see that.
Just another, which really doesn't mean anything really. There are 2 post-credit scenes.
Nothing.
What are your thoughts on those? Like, are we wasting our time with post-credit scenes now?
Follow me on Instagram at Talking Tubi. I do daily. TikTok. I occasionally do these little stories about things that annoy me and things that I've seen. And one of them was actually I filmed this week. Was my utter frustration with after credit scenes. I'm done with them, folks. I'm done with them because the last time I can remember a real important after credit scene is probably what at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier, because that introduced Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. But you name me an after credit scene between then and now that has been fundamentally, that they could have put it at the end of it didn't need it. It didn't need it. And this is the same film.
They could
There
have.
are two moments that, okay, I'm a bit, you make them after credit scene, but they're pointless. They don't drive it anywhere.
You're sitting there for another 10,
So the
15 minutes
mechanism
waiting for
is, it's not about trying to give the audience more. The mechanism of after credit scene, and I don't am angry at it, but it's kind of forcing it down your throat. The whole mechanism is to get you to watch the credits.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are hundreds of people that work on these films, sometimes for missing their families and months on end.
We appreciate it.
And it's fantastic. And I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, I did watch the after credit scene, generally for two reasons. The first reason is they would play some of the music, and I loved that. But as a great follower of mine pulled me up on during the week, that he used to watch it too, because that's how we find out the name of songs.
Yeah.
Because you'd get to the end of the credit scene and they list all the songs. And I used to do that too. So that's pretty accurate. So, but after credit scenes, I think are pointless. I think, honestly, at this point, narratively, if it's important, put it in the movie.
Like, I reckon they should have put that, what we discussed with, obviously how they handled the Supergirl thing.
Or if you're going to
should have put that in there.
If you are going to put after credit scene, if you are going to make the audience watch all those credits, then they need to be more significant than what they are. Because if any fault on this film is those after credit scenes, which I felt like a bit of a kick in the nuts to the audience. Because they meant nothing.
No, well, they didn't.
They meant nothing.
The first
one was a 3-second shot.
which you see in the trailer.
Which you see in the trailer, and the other one is a throwaway gag.
Yeah. And that's what most of them are now, just throwaway gags.
There's
it's the whole
I have a
trauma
problem
thing.
with after credit scenes, and because at that point I'm ready to go home, But at the same time, I'm real
bring it
torn
back.
on it. I like the fact that people are seeing you on. If you're in one of the factories, and I call them factories, and we have one here in our state, the CGI factories, and you worked your ass off for, that's great. At that point, your name has come up on a Hollywood movie. That's pretty rad, right?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that?
Nice. Yeah.
So,
100%.
credit to them. But
yeah.
No, the movie's great. Lower your expectations. That's all I want to say to you. Don't go in with super high expectations on this film. And the reason I say this is because let the film wash over you for what it is, all right? Because the problem is right now, if you haven't seen the film, as this time watching them, there's spoilers galore, so what are you doing? You should be going to see it. And people are going to hype it up. They're going to tell you it's the greatest film of all time, or they're going to tell you it's the biggest piece of crap of all time.
No.
It's neither.
No.
I personally think it's a really good film. I think Rick thinks it's a good film.
Yeah, it's a solid film for me.
Most of the people think it's a good film. Plus, we had to go and see it anyway, because how else are you going to get the coolest popcorn bucket
He's a bit hard to open,
in history? I think the lid actually opens up in there. How cool is that thing? So that's pretty rad. All right, guys, that's our review of Superman. And you know what? We had to do one because, of course, there's no one else is doing a review of Superman.
But our review counts, right? Our review is the
Mate,
one
if
that
you've got
counts.
a fishing podcast, they're doing a Superman review at this point.
Everyone's talking about
Everyone's doing
Superman.
it anyway. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. That is it. We've seen Superman. It's great. Go see Superman. Rick, let the guys know how to connect with us.
Guys, all you need to do is all the comments, drop us a comment down below. Like, subscribe, follow across all our social media platforms. All the links are down below, guys. Appreciate it.
Fantastic, guys. And we'd just like to tribute this episode of Pop Culture Spread to a good friend of ours who passed away a couple of weeks ago. We miss you, Mike.
We do.